Hey, what's up, Scapers? I'm Sensible Sign, and welcome to my Bandos Guide for Beginners. So, what this video essentially is, it's a mid-level, I want to say mid-level, so players between 85 and 110 could probably make use of this video. It's a mid-level guide for players attempting to kill Bandos, the God Wars Dungeon God. Or actually, it's called General Garardor, but I mean, everybody calls him Bandos. So, yeah, the idea here is that I want to kind of show you guys what to expect when attempting Bandos as a solo and as a duo. If you're in the lower end of that mid-level scale that I told you guys about, you might need a team of 3 or 4, maybe 5 people to be successful at Bandos. And this video will also be kind of focusing on a lower budget scale for players who can't afford more than, I don't know, like 11 mil or so. And as the video progresses, you guys will kind of see how I start off with a 4 mil gear and switch over to an about maybe 10 or so mil gear. And again, the efficiency at which you kill Bandos really highly depends on the gear you're using and the size of your team. So without further ado, here is the setup I have for my about 4 mil gear. I wouldn't say this gear goes over 4 mil. Without a doubt, I don't think it does. This is about the inventory setup I have. These are my stats in case you guys are wondering what level I am. I am 104. And again, this is the gear I'm using. And you want to have at least 43 prayer or you're going to die. And you want to have your preset set to protect from melee and everything else that goes with it. If you have piety, power to you, use it. Now, for at least the beginning section, if you guys feel I'm going too fast, I do have a God Wars Dungeon Guide, which I have put in the description of this video. If you guys need to know exactly what you need to take when going to God Wars Dungeon, I highly recommend you watch that video first. This is more about how to kill the Bandos boss. So, I'm going to skip a lot of the how to get there, what you'll need, but definitely you need a rope if it's your first time going, so I will say that here. And actually, I'll also mention that you will probably need a hammer if you're going. They did an update where you could kill goblins to get a hammer, but it's just much easier to bring your own hammer. So as you can see in the clip right now, I had a telly out because I don't have a hammer in my inventory, and sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet if you forget it and just go pick one up and come back. It only takes, what, 10 minutes or so? I know, what a grind. Alright, so here you guys can see me finishing up my 40 kill count that you need to get into the boss room. And I actually decided to kill the little goblins the second time around because it's a little bit faster than trying to kill the level 30 goblins. So here it is, my first attempt as a solo. And I brought a whip, dragon dagger, and amulet of glory. You want to switch your auto retaliate off when you enter. As you can see, I got dragged towards the mage as soon as I entered because I didn't have my auto retaliate off. Now, another tip to remember is that when you're killing General Garardor, you want to make sure that your health stays above 66 because it is possible for all of them to hit their max on you and actually kill you if your health is below 66. It's rare, but it does happen. So, so you can see here, as far as a solo goes, I was able to take him down about 2/3 health, and that's using really bad gear. And my health dropped to about 16, so I had to tab out. Now I decided to redo another solo trip, and with basically the same gear. The only difference now is that I want to try a God Sword because I was told that they have better accuracy. Now, as you guys will soon see, God Swords are not a good idea here. The only one that I would recommend is the Bandos God Sword because its special attack actually lowers enemies' defense, so that'll definitely help you get better kills. So if you guys can afford a Bandos God Sword with this type of gear, then you'll probably be able to do 1, maybe 2 kills a trip. I think 2 is kind of wishful thinking. Well, at least for my level. If you guys are towards the higher end of that mid-level spectrum I told you guys about, then you guys should be fine to get 1 or 2 kills. Either way, I don't recommend you guys soloing Bandos at mid-level. It's pretty much a waste of your food and potions, so don't do it. So I decided to get a friend and try out duoing for the first time. My gear is still about a 4 mil setup. I decided to get rid of the Torog plate and the Torog helmet, switched it with a black leather body and a Verox full helmet, and everything else is essentially the exact same as before. So the only difference now is that I'm going to be doing duoing with a person that is about my same level, The only another difference is that he actually has a Bandos God Sword and Piety. So if you have a friend with the Bandos God Sword, feel free to hit him up to go bondoing with you. So I kind of messed up here because I used my special attacks before he did his Bando spec, and that's not good because I would have hit harder with Bandos' lower defense. Now, as you can see here, while I am tanking, my partner is going to be protecting from range because the big splashes that you guys see on the screen right now as Bandos hits with both his hands, those splashes are actually range hits that hit up to, I believe, a 35. So the tank has to protect from melee because Bandos will tear you a new one if you don't. Other than that, just keep watching. I'll point out anything that went bad. So actually at this point, as soon as Bandos dies, you want to go straight for the mage because we're essentially melee based gear. So you want to take out the major as soon as possible, and after that you want to actually rush the ranger because he's the next person that does the most damage. As soon as you clear the floor of minions and the boss, you have a chance to pray at this altar. Now this altar, you can only pray there once every 10 minutes. So if you're dueling, basically you only get one chance to pray. Now another thing you should notice is that if you're the tank, you should stand around where I'm standing because Bandos responds right where this arrow is pointing in that area. And if your partner is not ready and they protect from range, and Bandos gets to them first, they might die because he maxes out at a 60 something with melee, and if he does his range attack at that same time, it could combo out even people in max HP. So just watch out for that. Make sure that if you're tanking, you're taking control of the situation and attacking the general first. And again, as soon as the general dies, go for the mage, and if they're on you, protect from mage and follow that same recipe. Now in this next clip here, it's still in the same trip. I actually forgot to turn on my prayer, and as you can see, I am getting beat down by the Bandos boss. I couldn't even eat fast enough. I had enough rock crabs to maybe last the whole trip, but just the fact that I forgot to turn on my prayer almost got me killed. So I can't emphasize enough that if you don't have 43 prayer, you are not going to survive at the Bandos. Now in this clip that you're seeing in the background, I actually changed my gear. I brought full Guthans with a Karill's top and a Varrock's helmet. So this gear setup's more lean towards, I want to say, about 10 mil. Probably a little less, but it's roughly 10 mil, just for sake of argument. And you guys can see how much better the trip went with this gear. Now, again, if you are the tank, you want to be protecting from melee first as soon as you enter the room. And you're going to wait for your partner to, hopefully, if they have BGS, do their BGS spec before you do your specs. So just to do better DPS. Now, the purpose for bringing your Guthan's armor is so that as soon as you finish the Bandos kill, and I actually brought Bones to Peaches as well. So as soon as you finish the Bandos kill, you want to switch to your Guthan's armor. And if they're on you, you want to protect from mage and heal off of the minions so that you won't have to waste extra food. And as soon as you get the minions kills, you want to pick up all of the bones and anything else that they dropped that might be useful for another kill. So as you can see, again, I'm tanking, so my job is to hit Bandos before he is able to reach my partner. And here's another fast forwarded kill. Now, while that goes on in the background, I just want to touch up on the effectiveness of Bones to Peaches. Now, the Bones to Peaches when you're doing isn't as effective as if you were in a larger group. They tend to help you out a lot more when you're in a larger group because you're getting hit less, so then you need to eat less and smaller amounts of food. So the Bones to Peaches really get you out of a pickle when you are in a larger group. But even in a duo, I still would recommend to bring some Bones to Peaches because sometimes that's the difference between getting another kill and not getting another kill. So definitely always bring Bones to Peaches, but if you want to max out the effectiveness of them, make sure that your group is a larger sized group. So for the speculative view, you guys probably already noticed that with the gear upgrade, I was actually, with my teammate, able to get twice as many kills as with the 4 mil gear setup that we came in. So that being said, I want to show you guys what it looks like and what the risks are of being the of not being the tank and being one of the DPSers. So I ended up switching roles in this next trip here. Alright, so here you see my partner entering with the protect melee. So you have to remember that if you're DPSing, you have to protect range. So I almost forgot to protect range as I walked in there. And basically, as a DPSer, you in general take less damage than the tank. So this is kind of what you want to do as a DPSer. Basically, your job is just to hit the general. So this next clip that I'm going to show you guys right after this kill is the risks of being a DPSer. Now, my recommendation is that you always have Protect for Melee as your preset. So as you can see here, my partner wasn't paying attention and the general managed to get a hit on me, and I wasn't supposed to be the tank, but the idea here is that it was actually also my fault for standing too close. If you are a DPSer, you want to be against the wall. So the idea here is that you have to be ready to tank even if you weren't assigned to be the tank. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. It's not always just kind of set in stone. Sometimes the general wants to go for you and your partner isn't fast enough, or you're too close and you might end up tanking a round. So be ready for that, guys. Now in this next clip here, I'm probably going to answer the question that many of you who probably have never gone to God Wars have, because I know it's a question I had even going into it. These few rounds I haven't played in a while, but going into it I had this question like, what are the risks of dying at God Wars? So instead of explaining it to you guys, I will kind of let you guys see it for yourselves. So you can see here, I killed the boss. My plan was to tab out, but the mage managed to get me before I tabbed out. So if you die, you keep your 4 items, and apparently I got my clue scroll as well. And actually you get a 1-hour timer to go back and reclaim your items. So it's actually fairly safe. So if you end up dying for whatever reason, just know that you have a 1-hour time limit to go pick up your items. And sometimes you'll lag out and it happens, or sometimes Bandos will one-hit you and you'll end up dying, but that's okay. Just know that if you die, you can go back and get your items from the ground. So it's a fairly safe boss to try. So actually, I would recommend that all of you guys give it a shot if you guys are thinking of giving it a shot. So that all being said, guys, I hope this video was informative, and I hope that it helped some of you guys out, and I hope that it maybe encouraged some of you guys to try out God Wars Dungeons. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos of RuneScape or Dragon Soul or Dragon City or whatever. Also, if you guys have any questions about this video, make sure to leave a comment. If you guys want to see guides for anything else, also make sure to leave a comment. If you guys didn't like how this guide was made, give me some feedback. I also appreciate that. So again, that all being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.